Welcome to another episode of the Risk Takers Podcast presented by HYM Enterprises. I'm your host, Harold Matos. This is a show where we feature esteemed business leaders of Southwest Florida as they provide us insights into their business and personal journey. Please like, share, and subscribe for a weekly dose of your motivation and inspiration. Today, we featured our first married risk takers on the show. Please help me welcome Ty, Pam, Benita, and Joe.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for letting us be here. We appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to actually pretty much dive straight into it. As I told you guys, first married couple in the show. We'll start with you, Joe.
Uh-oh.
All right. So I heard you were a big track star coming out of Fort Myers. What was it like growing up in this area, and how did it shape you?
Well, I had a great childhood. Growing up in Dunbar, which is my home, which I love. I made a lot of friends, and my friends were my teammates on the track and field team, basketball, football. And I have found that teamwork, that spirit, is what I use in business today, because you have to have a team around you, a good team. Everybody plays their part. So I think that those lessons that I learned in athletics growing up are very useful to me and our team as we conduct our business today.
You went to Dunbar High School or
Fort
Myers High School?
Dunbar High School was not in existence when I came through. I'm old school. We only had 4 high schools in Lee County. I went to Cypress Lake High School, but I went to Dunbar Middle School. So where Dunbar High School is now, it's where Dunbar Middle School was when I was coming up, and I did go to Dunbar Middle School.
Oh, Edison Avenue, correct?
That's right, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. So what about the rest of you guys? Where are you from, and how did it influence you? We'll go here.
Well, I'm from the Midwest and born in Missouri. I moved here, though, by way of Minneapolis. So, and I always appreciated about Minneapolis that it was very culturally diverse. And it really taught me to look at individuals, people as individuals and not so much as ethnicity groups. And so I use that today to just help me to accept people for who they are and not categorize them and put them in this ethnic group or that ethnic group. That's how I approach people.
You miss the cold?
Sometimes. When it's like 95, 99 degrees here, I miss the cold. But I only miss the snow, though. I don't miss the snow.
No, not the
I'm
traveling?
good, yes.
Yeah. All right, what about you, Pam?
So I'm originally from Honduras. A lot of people don't know this, but it's one of the most dangerous countries in the world. But I moved from Honduras when I was around 10 years old to Miami. And I always remember my mom telling me, when you move to the United States, as long as you work hard, you're dedicated, focused, you could be whatever you want. The United States is the country of opportunity. So I've always, thought about that, and I've always make sure that I work hard, and that definitely has shaped me into the person I am today.
What about you, my man?
Well, I'm from Motor City. I'm from Detroit. So
a Lion fan through and through, huh?
Lions
Losing
fan,
season or
Detroit
winning
Tigers
season?
fan, Detroit Pistons fan.
When y'all gonna get a championship in Detroit, man?
Well, we've had some championships,
For the Lions, though, to be exact.
Yeah, we had the Pistons back in the day, the bad boys. We had it. So, but growing up in Detroit, in the suburbs around Detroit, in my later teen years, was a good experience. Detroit, people talk about New York, how diverse New York is, but Detroit is really a diverse city. And I grew up with, it's funny though, it's diverse, but I would say, and I've lived in a few different states and cities, that it's one of the most colorblind cities that you'll ever find. So it's very diverse, but you don't see a lot of color. In fact, growing up, it's funny, a lot of my friends, now that I'm an adult, I didn't realize that they were Hebrew. I didn't realize that they were Chaldean. I didn't realize that they were Hispanic. I thought they were all different shades of black. I thought they were just light skin, right? And so, but Detroit is that kind of place where you can do anything. What I find coming out of Detroit, because there's so much competition, because there's a lot of go-getters in Detroit. When I left Detroit, I love my city and I love the incubator that it was for me growing up. But when I left Detroit, I was able to get more traction, and I think a lot of people that I know, that have left Detroit, they do better outside of the city, because this is not a bad thing about Detroit. This is just saying that the grind that it takes to make it in Detroit, and the diverse perspective on people, when you leave there, you just have a lot more vision and traction. And so I credit most of my success based on where I was raised in the city of Detroit.
Well, nowadays, the music the music industry in Detroit has really boomed. Like the recording artists, specifically hip hop, that.
Well, we know your generation. You forgot about Motown.
And how is there any? Did the movie 8 Mile really show like the real Detroit? Or
Man, well, they know. We all went to Detroit this past summer. So 8 Mile really separates the city from the suburbs. So it's Wayne County and Oakland County. So if you live on 8 Mile, you either are at the bottom end of the well-off or at the top end of, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like very middle class, you know. So it is a very significant street as far as the separation of the two sides, you know, suburbs versus the city. 7 Mile, they should have made a movie about that, because 7 Mile, 1 mile in, that's where you have the real Detroit experience, from the east side to the west side.
Wow.
Google that part.
I will. All right. So how long has each couple been married, and how did y'all meet? We'll start with you guys in North.
Go ahead, honey.
Well, you know, we have a different recollection of that. So you want to tell your recollection of it, and then
Well,
I will correct. You know, I will tell you the real.
Well, I know that I embellish this a lot, mostly to my own benefit, but truth be told, we met a little better than 20 years ago because we were working in the same building. My law firm shared the same floor as Benita's employer, which was J.P. Chase in Morgan. And I was getting ready to head out to either hearing or deposition, and I ran into her in the hallway. And I didn't even know that she worked there, and she had been working there, I guess, for some time. And then when I saw her, I was just captivated. And I chased her for a good couple of months before she would, really go out with me. But I wasn't going to give up, and I think she found that I wasn't going to give up. She said, well, let me just go out with this guy, so maybe it'll stop. But here I am, more than 20 years later.
What was the craziest thing that he did to get you that was like, all right?
Oh, wow. You know, he used to leave, because he's an early bird, so he's up at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd get in the office, and he's leaving little messages on my office, because I wouldn't give him my personal phone number. But he would leave little messages and voicemails on my office voicemail, and it would be like 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I'm like, who gets up that early just to leave a voicemail? But then later I realized he gets up that early anyway, so it really wasn't about me. But he would send flowers.
No, it was all about you.
He'd send flowers. He'd wait for me in the parking lot, and almost stalkerish, actually.
Right.
Joe had the music in the background. And what's up, baby girl? Joe North.
Yeah.
It was almost like that.
You can call me back at 1-800,
But it was sweet. It was sweet. It worked out. So we are, 20 years later, almost 20 years married. So.
Awesome. What about you guys?
Yeah, so we've been together for 20 years as well. We've been married 17 years. Do we want to tell the whole story?
That's a story. We can't tell the rated R version.
Oh, wow. That's not a rated R.
Yeah, we go between the PG and PG-13.
Okay, I'll start it.
Okay,
we don't have
ahead.
to say everything.
How we met.
So it's funny because we met 20 years ago at 2 o'clock in the morning at Denny's. You know the restaurant Denny's?
Oh, yeah. It's still around.
So me and my friend, we were out dancing. And it was, after the club, you're hungry, so you want to go get something. So we were like, let's go to Denny's. So we go to Denny's, and then we go in, and there's a table full of guys. It's like 10 guys.
10 Marines?
I'm not, no. So it's like 10 guys, and my friend knew a couple of the guys, and she was like, oh, come and sit. The guys were like, oh, come and sit up with us. And we were like, okay. So we went, we sat there, and then again, it's 10 guys and 2 girls, so everybody's trying to talk to us. And then I see Ty gets up the table and goes and sit with some other girls at another table. And then you can finish it if you want.
Okay. So in my marketing brain, there's these 4 impulse factors, which is fear of loss, sense of urgency, greed, and indifference. So indifference is kind of being detached. So she didn't know that strategy back then, but there was strategy in leaving the table to go sit at another table with some other girls, because it created that indifference. I was very polite, very nice, greeted her, and I was like, I'll talk to you, and I just left. and then sat behind her. She kept looking back. I was looking at her. Didn't say too much to her the whole night. This is the PG version. And then, but when the night had ended, because again, I still got to close the deal, right? So I said, can I walk you to your car? So I took her hand, walked her to her car, introduced myself, in a more complete.
Got my number.
Got her number. Yeah, this is when Sprint was out, and you had free minutes after 7. Had one on the phone. I think my phone had a hook on the side. But anyway, I walked her to her car, and then I'm a gentleman, So when she got in the car, I said, let me help you in the car. And I helped her in, grabbed her feet, helped her in. I said, oh, she got nice feet. And then I got possessed. Something happened to me. I don't know why I did it. I'm from Detroit, so I guess it was like for Stevie Wonder. I grabbed her toes like Stevie Wonder and his harmonica.
I thought you were not going to say that.
I'm telling it. Listen, y'all know this. And I sucked her toes.
I was like, oh my God.
And she kicked me in the face like, you shoot your eye out, kid. You remember that, the Christmas Story? No, you don't know. No. Well, I'm going to tell you about it. It's a great movie. You got to watch it. But anyway, so the next day I went back to Detroit. It was like July 3rd. So the next day was July 4th, so I was going back to Detroit to... And
then he didn't call me for a whole week.
Back to the indifference.
So I was like, oh my God, is this crazy guy going to call me? I don't want him to call me. He's weird anyways. But he didn't call me for the whole week. And then he called me, and then we've been together ever since.
I love that story.
And I didn't call her because I told you, it was like, you didn't have free minutes after 7. And I was out at night. It was 4th of July weekend. That's really why I didn't call you, baby.
Wow.
True story.
All right, so
all else fails, suck some toes and you might get a girl. You might get the woman of your dreams.
I don't know if I'm sucking toes, but
And I was out dancing, so my feet were all like dirty and sweaty and stuff.
We gotta cut this part out. All right, so it appears all of you guys are very involved with community activities and networking. How important is community involvement to your lives and businesses?
Okay, who go first?
Okay, well, it's extremely important because my business, which is, I practice law. I handle personal injury case representing people who've been injured in accidents to no fault of their own. And I have found that my business does not exist but for the community. So we are very involved in the community. Benita and I have a plan that we will always do whatever we can for the community because it is the community, it's the people that support us and help us. So if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. You already know what I'm going to say. It's a circle. And our community is that circle. And we are more than glad to be a part of that because as the community helps us, then we give back and help the community, and it's just a continual thing for us.
Yeah, and I just saw y'all at the event recently. Y'all were locked in, man. The Art and Poetry Networking event. Yeah. You guys are locked in. What about you guys, Ty and Pam?
Yeah.
I think it's very important. But what I've noticed too, that most of our friends, they're also our either business partners or customers or vice versa, So every time you see us out, I feel like there's some type of business going on, even if it's in on the low side of it it's very, very important.
What do they call it? Economic interest?
Right, yeah. It's always a business meeting.
And it's funny because people say, well, never combine business and personal, but truly, and I can speak for us too, and I think it's the same for the North, is that we are very intentional about community in the sense that we're stronger together and we're building. Like what we're trying to do, it's not even an effort. I think it's just the zone that we're in and how we're just programmed at this point. Our community is like our universe, and there's like this reciprocation situation going on that we pour into it, and we kind of do have the expectation that it pours back into us. And I think that's that circle that Joe is referring to. It's at some point the rhythm is no longer this is just
yeah.
And that's what we're creating, cultivating, and in some ways even teaching others to put out there.
100%. All right. What code word do you guys use when you guys want to leave a social event?
Do we have a code word?
I think it's like a facial expression.
It's not. You know what? He'll say, "You ready?" And nobody really knows what that means, but he'll always look at me and say, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
That could mean a lot of
And
stuff.
I know what that means, though. I know that means it's ready to take that exit. Yes, ready? Let's go.
What about you?
I think Pam squeezes something, either my arm, my hand, or she kicks my foot. Like it's something like that. Like I get the hint. I think that's what it
Is
is.
that what it is, or you didn't even know that you did that?
That's what it is.
I've done that before, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
never
for
ready
sure.
to go. So me, I can stay till it's over and help you pack up. But Pam, when she's ready to go, I feel that or it is or something. Yeah.
But I can tell you though, sometimes, we all work hard, and sometimes we might not want to go out to this event or that event. But Benita, she tends to be an outgoing person. She likes to go to all these events, and sometimes I just want to stay home, but she'll nudge me and we'll go out. And every single time I'm so thankful because when we get out, we thoroughly enjoy ourselves. And I'm so glad that she got me to go out almost every single time. So,
And I think it's important to entwine yourself with people at events and, parties and especially social events, because it really gives you the opportunity to connect with people, to build relationships. That's how we met, is just participating in different events throughout the community. And it really adds to the valuable social platform or social support that every community needs. And that's why I push him to get out there, even when he doesn't want to. Let's do it anyway.
I think I can speak for the community and say that you guys are power couples. How does the community's admiration feel, and does that put any pressure on y'all?
Well, yes. And I don't know if I would say power couple. I guess I'll receive that. Okay, we're a power couple. But it does put some pressure because I know that we cannot let the community down. And we don't want to let the community down. So knowing that we are set on a certain stage and that there's a certain expectation, and with every business that we have, the four of us, that we want to excel in that business, I can tell our clients or our customers that they know that they're going to get the very best, because none of us want to let our friends down, our community down, and we want to live up to what they've come to expect from us. Yeah.
What about you guys?
It's a good pressure, I feel, right? Yeah. It's a good pressure.
Yeah. So I think I embrace the power couple, I guess, title or.
You guys ever been? You guys are a power couple. Have you heard?
But I think what it's about, for me anyway, and I think for my wife the same, is that we have this copycat thing we talk about. It's like it's okay to be a copycat if you copy the right cat. Mm-hmm. And so there are people in our lives that are married couples that we first recognized as power couples. And we wanted to be like them. You understand? Like even Joe and Benita, we're friends, we're contemporaries, but we have a lot of admiration for Joe and Benita, so we emulate a lot of things. In fact, when Pam left banking and started her own business, there were some conversations that we had, and you guys may not even remember all the conversations, but how that foundation looked when she left from working at Wells Fargo for after 10 years, a leap of faith. It was some things that Benita said to us that made it work. You understand? So yeah, in the sense that I'm trying to be like them, and we're trying to be like them, and then there's other people that we have that are mentors in our lives that are all married couples. So yeah, we embrace it, and it's a responsibility. And so, like Joe said, the fact that people have an expectation, it kind of keeps us on our toes, keeps us no longer faking it till you make it. Like I believe we are that. That is the truth, because we wake up early. Joe wakes up early than all of us. She said early, 3 or 4. And I'm always quick to text. Even if I'm laying down, I'm like, he need to know I'm awake too. But that's a copycat. I'm trying to, I want to, when I get that 4:15 text, I want to be dressed already at the computer, or at the office already, because I know in some cases that's what he's doing. And so iron sharpens iron. We said that earlier in another conversation.
Yeah, and it's like a bee, taking different honey from different flowers. Mm-hmm. Was that one advice you gave them?
I don't know, because we give each other advice a lot. But what was it? What was it?
It was to her, but it was more for me to hear. And I won't give you all the details, but it was basically that I need to make it where she can't lose. So you need to set a foundation for her and support her in this, and this is how you need to do it. And it worked, you understand? And so it made me perform at a higher level as a husband and as a partner, the words that she gave us. Right, and it set an expectation for her. It's like, you know what, you do need to do that. And there's been a lot of that going on, and it's a good thing. Yeah.
Ty, you're an owner to one of the leading marketing agencies in Southwest Florida. How vital is hiring a marketing agency for your business, especially with this artificial intelligence boom that's here?
Oh, good question. In this AI situation, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm known sometimes, even in this group, as being a bit of a conspiracy theorist. And I won't get into all my conspiracies. But AI, even though I have worked in a digital space since 95, it's a long time to be in a digital space, I didn't embrace AI right away. And I'm still not as fully immersed as you would think that I should be as a digital marketer. I think it's important to embrace AI, but I also think that too much of a good thing could become a bad thing. And what you find with AI that I don't like about it is that it replaces a lot of jobs. And so that technology, you know, and I'm guilty of it. Like there's things that I will hire writers for, voiceover, and well, there's no reason to do that anymore. But so the question was, what advice would I give to a company? I'll talk about the startup company. So the startup company, AI is totally your friend. When you don't have the overhead or you don't have the capital to hire right away, right, and you want to launch any brand, whatever you want to do, if you learn AI and what tools that are out there, even the free one, ChatGPT, there's a lot you can do with that to build your brand, create content. You know, content has always been king, but even more so now with social media.
And your digital marketing firm can assist with that?
Oh, absolutely. So I'll tell you what's different about my firm. So we create a lot of beautiful, pretty stuff, but we're also like serial entrepreneurial type mindset. So we often become accountability partners with our clients, where the typical agency is going to say, oh, this is pretty, this looks good, that sounds good. But I'm going to be like, okay, well, how many new clients did you get? Or I'm going to record your calls and I'm going to show you that, yeah, we spent this $10,000 budget on these ads and you got, 500 clicks and 36 calls. And here's your sales guy. Listen to him. That's answering this call. Listen to him or her chew gum in the back, like whatever's going on. So those things that I think you don't always get from an agency, where they're going to go all the way through the funnel to even get into almost like a personnel, who do you have in place? So a lot of my clients, I'm even helping them hire. I'm helping 2 clients right now hire, one a first-time position, the other one is a replacement position. And the one that I'm hiring, help hire a replacement, it's a global brand. The guy, he patents a lot of cool stuff, but he hasn't been converting because who's answering the phone shouldn't be answering the phone, And so, but the technology, AI, stuff like that allows me to record and track all that stuff, those behavior patterns.
Wow, impressive.
100%. All right, so I know we was trying to set up this podcast interview. How many different days we shifted through?
I think we had 3 days that we played around.
We had like 3 different days we shifted through, because I know you guys are all busy.
Yeah.
So, and in the middle, one of those days that we was hoping to get, Benita, you had something going on. You were receiving an award that day. Can you share with me what the award was about?
Yes. Well, the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Theta Nu Omega chapter that's here, and then the Flora Hamilton Roberts Community Fund Foundation. Each year they honor different women for their achievements, and they choose International Women's History Month. And so, yeah, along with 5 other women, they honored us for our achievements and contributions to the community. And so we were given the 2024 Pink Renaissance Woman Award. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who's got more awards at home, you or Joe?
Definitely Joe. We're running out of places to put them, actually. So we're going to have to build some shelving or something and stick them on. But yeah.
So Pam, you're the owner of P&B Home Group. What made you decide to become a mortgage broker? I know you said you was at Wells Fargo before.
Yep. So I started P&B Home Group after working for Wells Fargo for 10 years. I noticed while I was there, a lot of people that should have qualified for a home didn't. And that's because, the big banks, you have to fit in these specific buckets that if you don't, you just don't qualify. But the turning point for me was when my own family, Ty and I, didn't qualify for a home loan through the bank that I work for.
Wow.
Fortunately for us, we were able to get in touch with a mortgage broker and move some things around with his guidance. And then within a month, we were able to buy our first home. So I wanted to make sure that other people like myself could, be able to buy a home. So that's when I decided, hey, you know what, I should do that. And I opened P&B Home Group.
All right, Ty. So most people know you because of your marketing company, Four Corners Creative, but it looks like you're also building a pretty successful real estate brokerage as well in Benita. You're partner in this venture too, correct?
Yes.
Well, for the viewers, what's going on with Legacy One Real Estate?
Little backstory. So, Pam being the mortgage broker, I felt like there was opportunity to just get my real estate license as a passive income scenario. So should she have someone come to her when the market was a little different than it is now, people would literally go get a mortgage before they would go look for a home. And I was like, well, you're referring a lot of business to these realtors and not seeing a lot coming back. There's not a lot of reciprocation. I'll go get my license. We keep it in the family. So I got my license and I signed up to work for another brokerage. And he wanted to take a lot of my money, and I was like, that's like having a boss, right? And so I said, let's figure this out. So we have another close friend, Michelle Sanaristyle, that he had his broker's license, but he worked at an agency as a broker associate, so he didn't have his own agency. But we have a friendship, and so we began to wish, or maybe this could be a possibility, and one day we finally made a leap of faith, and we started Legacy One Real Estate. So then Benita, I'll let her tell her story, but she's actually been a realtor in the real estate game longer than any of us on our team. But she's been a secret agent, I call it. And so she's building her own brand, and she'll tell you about that. But she is a partner with Legacy One Real Estate, and she has been, again, setting the example, setting the expectation. You may have seen it. There's a bus that goes from Fort Myers down to Naples that has her face on it, everything, and it has a little Legacy One Real Estate logo on it, and it makes me feel so great that she would do that for us. I really appreciate. In fact, you drove past one of her billboards when you pulled up in here. There's a billboard of hers right at the corner of Daniels and where we at? Tree Line, right here. And there's 3 others in the city too. So the Norths, they go all in.
Yeah, so who's got more billboards up?
Yeah, right. They go. It's
That kind of moment. For the moment. Yeah.
But you know what it is and my husband has taught me that because marketing is everything to him. And he's like, you have to market yourself. People don't understand how important that is when you're trying to establish a business and maintain a business. And so he's between Ty and Joe. These are my marketing guys, right? But it really makes a difference. And so we really are just trying to really establish a strong presence in Southwest Florida and beyond Southwest Florida. And so we know that marketing is a big part of that, and that's kind of our focus right now. So.
Marketing is everything, whether it's certain glasses that you wear or certain colors, or Little Wayne, for example, he's like, the best rapper alive. So, you embrace him as the best rapper alive. Whatever you say, you manifest it. And people,
words are powerful.
Yeah.
Marriage is not the easiest thing to navigate through, especially when your business partner is your spouse. How do y'all separate business and marriage? Let's start with you guys.
Well, I don't think that we do, actually. I am very glad that I've got, as my business partner, my wife, because she knows me better than anybody, and I know her better than anybody. So we're able to share a lot of things that maybe other business partners wouldn't be able to share. And there's nobody that I trust more than Benita. So if I ask her, well, should we do this as a company or should we do that? Whatever answer she gives me, I can take that to the bank because I trust that, And she's a very smart woman, so I know that what she's telling me is sound, even if I don't always agree with it. I might say, okay, we're going to do it your way. And she hasn't steered me wrong yet. So I'm going to keep listening to her and doing what she says. So for us, it's been great in the office and at home. And I'm just glad that maybe at like 2 a.m, I'll get an idea about something or she'll get an idea about something and we can bounce those things off of one another at any time. So it's been great.
Yeah, I don't think you separate it. I think that work kind of becomes woven into the fabric of the marriage, right? And when you love what you do, like you love what you do, we love what we do, it's just natural. It just becomes like this one big thing, It's, we bring work home, we bring home to work.
Yeah.
But, we love what we do, we love each other, and so it works. Same probably for the Belfords.
What about you guys? Pam?
Ditto.
It's kind of hard to separate work from our regular life because not only is our office next to each other, but we actually work from home like 90% of the time. We only go to the office when someone wants to see us in person. So at home, our desks are next to each other. So we're together 99% of the time. Ty is very focused though when he's at work. So it's like, I don't even talk. It'll be like 3 hours. We're next to each other. I don't even talk to him because he doesn't like to get interrupted or anything. So
I was just about to ask, y'all get work done sitting across
So what
each
it
other?
is, I'm what did Kanye say? So I have a superpower. It's called ADD. And so, like that's legit. And so if I get distracted, I get distracted. And so that's the only reason, babe. But we're together, and we're even like touching each other because we're literally side by side when we're from home. And then at the office, our offices, we're 2 separate offices side by side. Then we even cut out a space in the wall so we can at least see each other. True story. And it's not. I mean, it is like I want to throw God into this because it's the perfect scenario. It is so easy. And like Joe said, who can he trust more than Benita? Who can I trust more than Pam? Who can Pam trust more than me? Like there's no ever any hidden agenda, right? There could be a disagreement, but we're both fighting for the same thing. And so who else better to be your business partner? And so I know I have a lot of male friends that are married, some are not. And they're like, how you do that, man? Like, why would you do that? And I'm like, bro, it is the secret sauce. It is the easiest thing to do when you submit to it. You should have did that the day you got married, but at some point, I'm not saying you don't have to prescribe to what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that, in the Bible, I'm not going to start preaching, but it says when you find your wife, you find favor. And so before that, you were living like in grace, which grace is kind of like, you're being done a favor, like God is almost having mercy and allowing you, but favor goes along with abundance. And so us finding a way to make this move very smooth, and it does, it's like a time machine. Like things that we've accomplished in a very short period of time, it was because we submitted to just being one, and that isn't that what it should be? There's never a setback, it's a slingshot.
Okay, that's a slingshot. I like that. All right, so that is another episode of the Risk Takers Podcast. Thank you to the Belfords and the Norris. See you guys next time.